The Hotel Planator is back. This week we've travelled over 1,200 kilometres from the quiet Dutch town of Spike to the historic Swedish city of Uppsala. Just 40 minutes north of Stockholm and many centuries old, it's one of Scandinavia's most important cultural centres. Not far from the city centre, our golfing host is Uppsala Golf Club, making its return to the tour for the first time since the early 1990s. Founded in 1937, it's one of Sweden's oldest layouts, stretching over 6,000 metres. Its par 72 course is a parkland gem, sculpted by forest and open fairways. One man who's looking to make his mark on this impressive layout is Rocco Repetto Taylor. Here in Uppsala, the Spaniard took time away from the course to soak up some Swedish culture, starting with a tradition at the very heart of daily life, fika.
Hello.
More than just a snack or a coffee break, it's a cherished part of Swedish life.
Thank you so much.
Earlier this year, Repetto Taylor clinched his first ever Hotel Planator title at the Challenge de Cadiz, carding a brilliant 13 under par total and sealing victory with a dramatic putt from 20 feet on the 18th hole to edge out his nearest rival by just one stroke.
An incredible finish from Rocco Repetto Taylor.
Cadiz was such a great week. I mean, I was playing off there with a national invite, and so I got my dad to come down for his birthday. It was the first week my girlfriend was here, and just vibes were really good, and I was able to play some really good golf, and coming down the stretch, I was able to win the golf tournament, so it was probably the best week of the year so far. The win, it's put some pressure on, some expectations, but I mean, we're in a sport where there's always going to be high pressures, high expectations, so I'm just learning how to manage that at the moment the best I can. So I'm just taking week by week, just trying to post as many good scores as I can, and at the end of the year we'll see where we are.
It's all a far cry from the early days, when Rocco wasn't even sure if golf was the game for him.
So I grew up in Malaga, Spain. I mean, I was born and raised there. My first time picking up a golf club was probably when I was 7 or 8. So my dad is a pretty avid golfer himself. So he was the one that got me into playing. At the beginning, I didn't really like it that much. I was more of a football guy. And around 10, 11, I started to pick it up again. And from then on, history. I just really started to enjoy it and compete, and yeah, so I started playing competitively around 11 or 12.
Once the bug was well and truly caught, he began thinking big. In his early teens, he launched his own crowdfunding campaign called Rocco for the Ryder Cup.
When I was about 14, I obviously went through a growth spurt and I needed new clubs, but my mom and dad, they didn't have the money to be able to put aside 1,500 euros for some brand new irons and woods. So my mom had the great idea of making this crowdfunding. And so all my friends and family and just people pitched in, and it was really cool. So we named it Rocco for the Ryder Cup 2024. So look, in hindsight, it's kind of funny because expectations were real high with that one. But yeah, it was so cool because all my family pitched in. We were able to get myself new golf clubs, and in exchange, we did if you donated a certain amount of money, you would get a signed shirt and stuff like that. All at 14. So it was pretty cool to do that.
Hi, my name is Rocco Repetto Taylor, and as you all know, that this crowdfunding has helped me toward my new collapse. My golf expenses for next year. I really appreciate all the people who are rooting for me, and I'm helping me to achieve my goal. And this is my way of saying thank you.
That's so funny. You don't know how many takes this took because I was so nervous and I kept speeding up. So I did it in both English and Spanish as well, so it was pretty funny. My dad was the one behind it with his phone.
Rocco Repetto Taylor. Y como todos saben, este crowdfunding es para ayudar.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
You must be proud, but
Yeah, for sure. And also, not only proud, but very thankful to all the people that did help out in the moment, because you know, without their support and all the little things, you know, this wouldn't be possible. So yeah, pretty thankful for all my friends and family.
Rocco for Ryder Cup all the way.
Yeah, that's for sure. We'll just have to change the date a little bit, but it will happen.
And so to Thursday morning and the opening round of the Dormy Open, with Repetto Taylor teeing off alongside Ewan Walker and Felix Mori, 11th and 12th respectively on the road to Mallorca rankings.
Please welcome Rocco Repetto Taylor.
Rocco was looking for his second top 10 since his win in Cadiz. Although, having not missed a cut in that time, he's certainly been knocking on the door. It was the perfect start to the week for the 22-year-old. A pinpoint approach at the short par 4 opening hole, setting up a birdie opportunity, which he duly rolled in to open his account. It didn't take Rocco long to notch up birdie number 2, as he nailed a 25-footer to get to 2 under at the 4th. He would go out in just 32 shots, 3 under par. His inward 9 began with a further gain, as another putt found the bottom of the hole at the 10th. Now 4 under, he was showing the sort of form that saw him pick up that win in Spain earlier in the year. Playing alongside Rocco, Felix Mori, the winner here 4 years ago, was setting the early pace. The Frenchman has had a similar season to Repetto Taylor, with just 1 top 10 since his win at the Swiss Challenge in early June. But a bogey-free round of 63 would leave him well placed to improve on that record. Repetto Taylor would arrive at the par 4 17th, still at 4 under par after a run of 2 bogeys and 2 birdies. He was faced with a 60-footer for an outside birdie chance. An unlikely 3, but with that, he moved to 5 under. Another fairway was found at the last as Rocco hunted down birdie number 8, and he gave himself a great chance. So a hat-trick of birdies to finish for Rocco, as he signed for a 6 under par round of 65, just 2 shots off the lead, held by a quartet, including playing partner Mori.
I mean, I'm just going to try and rest up, just tweak a few things on the range, and tomorrow try and do the same thing, just commit to those tee shots and try and hit as many greens as I can and hopefully post another good number.
Friday afternoon in Sweden, and for Repetto Taylor, setting off at the 10th, it was very much a case of trying to pick up the form from the day before. Regrettably, a drop shot at his very first hole stopped him in his tracks. But it wasn't long before the putter that had been red hot the day before started to warm up again. That long birdie putt on 11 was immediately followed up by another at the next. 1 under for the day, and trending in the right direction once again. The ship steadied. 3 pars were to follow before back-to-back birdies at 16 and 17. Out in 33, 9 under for the week, Rocco was climbing up the leaderboard. Once again, it was playing partner Felix Mori who was setting the pace. 7 birdies and just 1 drop shot would add up to a second round 65 to follow up his opening 63. Repetto Taylor, though, it proved a highly frustrating back nine as mistakes started to creep in. And as the weather turned, so did the momentum of Rocco's round. The long birdie putts have been replaced by long par saves, like here at the 6th. 2 drop shots and a notable lack of red figures saw him slip down the leaderboard. He would eventually sign for a 1-under round of 70, 7 under for the week, 7 shots behind his playing partner and leader, Felix Mori.
Consistent, I feel like overall I played good golf, just hit a couple of bad shots and conditions definitely got a little tougher towards the end. Obviously, like now, you know, we've passed the cut, so I'm sure Saturday I'll be a little bit more free and there's nothing to lose now. You got to just climb up that leaderboard and see if we can catch the guys at the top.
Coming up, the next generation of Swedes inspired to follow in the golfing footsteps of Hotel Planetor graduate Jesper Svensson. And we'll discover who rose to the occasion in Uppsala. We'll see you after the break. Welcome back to the Hotel Planetor. We're in Sweden this week, as after a 1-year hiatus, the Dormy Open returns to the Road to Mallorca schedule. At the halfway stage at Uppsala Golf Club, it was Frenchman Felix Mori who led the way, just ahead of a pair of Englishmen, John Goff and Jamie Rutherford. No Swedes on the leaderboard, but with 2 Danes and an Icelander, there was still plenty of Nordic interest. To find out how it all panned out on moving day, here's Josh Antman.
Good group following the overnight leader Felix Mori on Saturday. His tee shot at 2 was his first birdie of the day, but 3 bogeys were to follow on the front 9. He did come back in 33, however, and finished the day on 15 under par. No bogeys on Friday for Jamie Rutherford, but he did drop one on his second hole in round 3. Bounced back superbly though. Hit his approach on the 3rd to 5 feet. Converted for birdie. This one possibly even better on the net to pick up another. Solid bogey-free round for the winner of the Danish Golf Challenge earlier in the year, Jonathan Goth Rasmussen. Had a decent crowd following this group, playing with his friend Anders Ejlersen. This lovely chip in on the 5th, probably his highlight of the day. Speaking of Ejlersen, started the day 3 back of Mori and had a quiet front 9 until this approach at the 9th. And this is where things really started to pick up for him and he turned it up a few gears. Featured player this week, Rocco Repetto Taylor. This was to finish 6 under for the day. It would be the lowest round of the day at this point. Solid few holes for him from the 15th. Birdie, eagle birdie finish. Someone to not rule out on the final day. This was Goth Rasmussen's second at the par 5 16th, and it was a stunner from the Dane. Almost holding out for an albatross. He would miss the eagle, however, but a birdie there, he'd pick up one more and finish the day on 17 under par. And he'd be one back of Ejlersen, who produced some outrageous golf coming home. It all started on 16 with this eagle putt. A brilliant comeback after a bogey on 15. One eagle wasn't enough for Ejlersen, because on the very next hole he did this. From the bunker, holing out back-to-back eagles for the Dane. Very rare you get back-to-back eagles, and the smile says it all for Ejlersen. He was stealing the show at the end of Saturday. This for birdie on the last, to go 5 under in his last 3 holes and come back in 30. Simply stunning from the Dane.
So confirmation of Ejlersen's slender lead at the end of Saturday. Overnight frontrunner Felix Mori lost ground. Our man, Rocco Repetto Taylor, produced the joint lowest round of the day, but it was a little-known Dane in pole position.
It's been a pretty good day for me. I woke up and I was a little bit nervous, and I thought this is the first time for me, and I'll go just take it as another day on the golf course and another round just like any other. and teed off a little bit shaky, and then kind of after 3 holes, I was like, okay, it's just another round. And then played pretty solid, not too well, didn't make a lot of putts, and then all of a sudden, I'm on 16, made an eagle, hold a bunker shot on 17, another eagle, and then finished with a birdie, and here I am, leading this tournament, so it's wild.
Uppsala Golf Club has a reputation for producing world-class golfers, juniors aspiring to follow in the footsteps of big names, like Sweden's very own Hotel Planator graduate, Jesper Svensson.
The students are in Uppsala from 16 to 19, usually. Some are here until they're 20. So they are here in high school, and then after high school they go to US, usually. I meet them usually 1 or 2 years before sometimes, and then I tag along for 4 or 5 years, and some of them I keep in touch with in US, and yeah, we'll help them as good as we can.
It's very important, and actually we have 10 girls at least in the lowest group. That was 5 to 8 years, and expanding a lot, and we see we'll lift up some more of them next year.
Uppsala's favourite son, Svensson, graduated from the Hotel Planator to the DP World Tour in 2023, and thanks to his Porsche Singapore Classic victory, finished 10th on the Race to Dubai rankings.
So just came here when he went to school, so that's where I met him. He lives here in the town, so when he comes home for a week of rest, we meet up here and work. So I think it's like a place where you can just relax and enjoy.
It was a great time. Yeah, I moved here when I was 16 and to start the school here, and we practiced and played at this course. Yeah, I really enjoyed my 3 years here, and sort of was the pathway as well for me to go to college and continue my career over there.
If you can have a role model at home so you can see how that person really is working with the game, I think that is the most important part. So when you're young, it's easy to just look at YouTube and Instagram and see the good shots and think that, oh, that's the way it goes. And they don't see the bad shots, they don't see how they work in their daily practice. When a role model can be in their daily work side by side with these young players, that is enormously important.
He visited last year, and it was awesome. I got to see him. I mean, he's a great player. He's soon going to play here, and it's awesome.
It's super inspirational seeing them around, and one day maybe I can be like them if I train hard.
This competition here at Uppsala at the moment is a good sign. I mean, we have like 4 players from the school in the field, and this kind of event is also very important to have for the players to see the step between the level they are at the moment and where their dreams are. So it's filling the gap of knowledge. How is the ladder constructed?
It's fun because we always talked about it, that this would be like a good course to have this sort of event. I kind of wish that I was playing it. It would have been a lot of fun. But it's great to see. Yeah, like I said, all the friends being here as well and playing this event here.
And maybe one day we'll see one of these juniors on the big stage. But back to the here and now and the business end of proceedings at the Dormy Open. Things were heating up in Sweden, but who would keep their cool on the final day?
Our featured player this week, Rocco Repetto Taylor, had a sublime weekend, a 65 on Saturday, and he followed it with another 65 on the final day. Huge move made on the weekend, and the Spaniard would finish in 7th place. 2 pars to start the final round for Ejlersen, but he picked up his first birdie of the day on the par 4 third hole. With this 30-foot effort, and at this point, he would lead by 1 from Jamie Rutherford. Vince van Veen started the day with 4 threes in a row. The fourth of those came at the fourth with this huge birdie putt. He's foot on the accelerator all day and never stopped putting the pressure on. Just one off the lead at this point. Gerardo Magnus had already made 22 birdies on the week in Sweden. This chip in on the 8th would help him go out in 30, and a magic number was in sight for the Icelandic player. He had 6 more birdies on the back 9, and on 18, in front of a huge crowd, he had this putt for a 59. Agonisingly close, but one of the rounds of the year from Magnus, a 60, and he would have to wait and see. Van Veen was 5 under for the day as he came to the 16th and produced this wonderful approach into the par 5. He'd hold that for eagle and put some pressure on Ejlersen, who's in the group behind. Ejlersen picked up crucial birdies on the 13th and 15th, but it was the par 5 16th where he finally took the solo lead. Wonderful approach, 2 putts for a birdie, who would go on to make a birdie on 17-2 to give himself a bit of breathing room at the top. He could even afford a bit of a slip-up on the 72nd hole. A bogey to finish, but the man who's mainly been playing on the Nordic Golf League all season wins in Sweden to take his maiden Hotel Planet Tour title.
Pair Langfors ended up the highest-placed home player in 8th after a final round 62. Repetto Taylor maintained his welcome return to form, whilst Haraldur Magnus came up just 1 short after coming oh so close to a 59. But our winner was a little-known, but nonetheless great Dane.
Like, my heart is pumping pretty hard right now. It feels unbelievable. My expectations were, as I said yesterday, like non-existing actually, but just hit the ball great and hold some putts, and here we are.
Ejlersen doesn't make the top 20, but climbs an impressive 239 places, up to 46th on the road to Mallorca rankings. David Law still leads the way ahead of Ørjan Geormundegi in an unchanged top 10. Further down, Gert Rasmussen moved up from 20th to 15th. Despite that top 10 finish, Repetto Taylor dropped to 17th. Stefano Matsoulis in the final qualifying position. And with that, our time in Sweden is over, with our latest winner, Anders Emil Ejlersen, leaving Scandinavia with the spoils of victory. Up next, the class of 2025 travel to Poland, where their pursuit of promotion to the DP World Tour continues.